In this video, I'm going to share 7 different ways with you to make money online as a print-on-demand seller. And I'm going to go through these ways from most obvious to least obvious towards the end of the video. I'm also going to rank or rate these different ways to make money online in 3 different categories for you. And those are how easy it is to start, how easy it is to make your first $100, and how easy it is to actually maintain the income stream over time. Method number 1 is selling print-on-demand products, which, in case you don't know how it works, you create designs often for t-shirts, you upload them to different marketplaces or platforms like Amazon Merch, Redbubble, TeePublic, and if a customer buys a product that has your design on it, that's when you receive a royalty or a cut of the sale. This area, if you want extra information about it, how the different processes work, check out my channel. That's literally what most of my content is about. There's many different areas to print on demand. An ideal sort of step-by-step process that you would want to take or approach print on demand with is doing research first, finding good niches that are low competition and fairly high demand. Then you want to do trademark checks to make sure you're not infringing on any brands or trademarks. Then we move on to the design stage, creating lots of designs for the niches you've found, and then you can upload those with relevant listing data, keywords, titles, tags to these different platforms. Now, print on demand itself, in my opinion, is one of the easiest business models to start because you only need a computer or a laptop and an internet connection. You don't have to invest in any tools necessarily. You can find lots of free design tools out there, free research tools, and almost all of the platforms that do print on demand are actually free to start. You don't need to pay anything to open a store. So that is why for the how easy it is to start category, print on demand gets 5 out of 5 stars. But how easy is it to make $100 or your first $100 with this method? In my opinion, it is not as easy as it might appear on YouTube because, especially at the beginning, during your first few weeks or months, your designs might not be the best unless you have design background, and your niche research probably isn't ideal yet. So in many cases, it takes quite a while to make those first $100. It could take a few months, it could take a few weeks. It depends on the person, right? And how much work, how much effort you put into this. But for this category, how easy it is to make your first $100, I would give print on demand 3 out of 5 stars. In terms of maintenance, I would say print on demand is fairly easy to maintain, but you have to remember it's once you've got it going, once you've got regular sales coming in, that is when the maintenance is super easy because the marketplaces, or most of the marketplaces, manage things like customer service, the whole shipping side of things for you. You just have to create the designs and upload them. And especially once you have designs that regularly sell, you don't have to do too much to maintain that regular sales. So obviously there's areas like marketing that can help you with this and make sure that your sales stay at a certain level. But for the most part, I think print on demand income is fairly easy to maintain. So in this category, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Method number 2 is selling digital downloads, which essentially is a similar model to print on demand, except there's no physical products involved. And a good thing is, if you've been doing print on demand for a while, you've probably got some digital assets that you can sell for other people to use, because you might have created some decorative elements for your designs, some different shapes, some vintage sunsets, rainbows, whatever, and you can repurpose those by selling them as digital downloads as well. Or you could even sell some of your designs if you wanted to. If you've created a lot of scalable designs, you could maybe resell them as a bundle as well, just as an idea. But there is other digital downloads you can sell too. You could sell bundles of mock-ups, you could sell texture files. I've made a video about Tumblr wraps as well. You could sell those. There's many different digital files that might help people out with their working process. So that's what you actually have to consider. What can I create digitally that might help another person save time or make their life easier? And there's different platforms where you can sell these digital downloads, or different ways to sell them. One of the popular ones is Etsy. There's many digital downloads on there, and a lot of people go there, especially from the print-on-demand space. Many people will go there to buy mockups, for example. There's also a platform called Creative Market, which I've used a lot to buy fonts, for example, or texture files. And Creative Market, you can also join, open your own store, and upload your digital files onto there. I've done that too. I've got a store on there, so that is definitely an option to consider. You could also use Creative Fabrica, sell your stuff on there. Or if you've got an audience, whether it is on YouTube or on social media, you could also try selling digital downloads to your audience if they might find something useful. So many different options here, and it is, in my opinion, fairly easy to start. Not as easy as print on demand maybe, because you need to have a bit more design skills in most cases. You can start print on demand with just some very basic text designs in a sense, but if you want to sell digital downloads, you would want to provide a bit more value than that in most cases. So in terms of how easy it is to start, I would give digital downloads 4.5 out of 5 stars. How easy is it to make your first $100? I think it is fairly similar to POD in this case. The start is usually quite slow. It takes a while to get used to things, to figure out what people actually want to buy. So your first few weeks or months might be very slow, but I think in total I would give this 3 out of 5 stars. I personally have found it easier to get sales with print-on-demand products compared to digital downloads. So I find the POD model a bit easier, but many people do really well with digital downloads as well. So I'm giving you all of these different options because one of these might work better for you than print on demand. You never know until you try. And for the last category of maintenance, I would give this 4.5 stars out of 5. It is pretty easy to maintain because it is fairly passive once you get bundles that sell regularly or individual digital downloads that sell regularly. However, I think because a lot of the sales might come from Etsy, you potentially have to deal with customers who have questions and message back and forth. So that's where that half of the star gets lost. This video has been very kindly sponsored by Skillshare, an online learning platform with many high quality classes for aspiring entrepreneurs. At the beginning of my print-on-demand journey, Skillshare was my go-to resource for learning how to create designs in Photoshop and Illustrator, which are now selling for me every single day. So if you're looking to make money online as well, Skillshare is a great platform to enhance your knowledge and to get ahead of the competition. They've got an abundance of amazing classes for various topics, including graphic design, marketing, productivity, creative writing, freelance and entrepreneurship, film and video, and much more. You can also find a dedicated library of courses diving deep into the print-on-demand business model. One course I'd like to recommend is by Shimi Morris. It's a 3-hour print-on-demand course. Shimi is a great friend of mine. I've interviewed him on the channel, so if you want to see his full POD course, you can find it on Skillshare. The first 500 people to follow the link in the description will get a free month trial to Skillshare. Method number 3 is starting a YouTube channel, which can open up many different income stream possibilities if the channel gets to a certain size. And essentially, if just to name a few, you can receive ad revenue from YouTube for the ads that run on your videos. You could make affiliate income through affiliate links promoting other people's products. This will be a different category that I'll go into in more detail. You can also do things such as sponsored videos. So if you're showcasing a product for a specific company, they might pay you to make that video. And there's other avenues of income streams like coaching. You could sell a course. There's many different ways. You could sell digital downloads through a YouTube channel, but it does take a lot of upfront work. The goal with a YouTube channel, in my opinion, should be to give away as much free information as possible and to help people as much as possible, because the more you give, the more you're going to receive in return. You might be watching this and think, well, I don't really like the idea of having a YouTube channel, or I don't feel qualified to run a YouTube channel and give people advice. I think you might be wrong there, because even if you're at the start of your print-on-demand journey, that could be an advantage because people like to relate to others who are in a similar situation to them. So if you are 6 months in and you're struggling someone else who's in the same situation, and there's many people out there, they will find you very relatable and will be more likely to actually follow you, hear about your struggles, hear about what you've learned recently and what started to work for you. So you can still start a channel even if you're not an expert, is what I'm trying to say, because it does make you more relatable. One thing about YouTube is that it is not as easy to start. So you do need a few more skill sets, a bit more equipment to make your YouTube videos somewhat enjoyable. So you might need a microphone, you might need a decent webcam at least, a bit of lighting. It helps knowing how to edit videos, you need to edit thumbnails. So there is quite a lot to it in my opinion, and therefore it is a bit harder to start. You need to invest a bit of money ideally to have a decent video quality so that people aren't turned off instantly. And that's why I would give it 3 out of 5 stars in the category of being easy to start. How easy is it to make $100 or your first $100? Now, I think this took me quite a while of making many videos on a regular basis, because what you have to know about YouTube is that in order to receive ad revenue, you need to get to 1,000 subscribers and to 4,000 hours watch time. And that 4,000 hours is really hard to hit, because getting someone to watch a video longer than 2 minutes is almost impossible nowadays. So until you reach that target, you do not make any money from ads, and it's also less likely that you will make money through affiliate marketing or other things whilst your channel is smaller. It's less likely that you'll get sponsorship deals, less likely that you'll get someone to, book a coaching or buy a product from you. So whilst the channel is slow, things are definitely really hard. So it took me probably about half a year to make my first $100, I think. I don't know exactly, but I know it took me at least half a year to get eligible for the ad revenue from YouTube. Until that point, I didn't really make any or much money. So in this category, YouTube, of how easy it is to make $100, scores 2 out of 5 stars. In terms of maintenance, this is where it doesn't compare very well to print on demand, because it does take effort to maintain your channel. If you just stop making videos, your income, your views, everything will start going down. With print on demand, you can take a longer break from it if you've got regular sellers, and not much will change. Whereas with YouTube, it is not very passive. Some of the income streams attached to it are somewhat passive, like affiliate marketing, but YouTube itself, the channel, you have to put work into it to maintain it. So in the maintenance category, YouTube scores 2 out of 5 stars. Next up, we've got affiliate marketing, which is definitely worth trying out. It can be a great addition to your income, because the way it works is you are essentially showcasing someone else's product and you link back to it with a custom affiliate link. And if someone clicks on that link and eventually purchases the product, that's when you receive a cut and kind of like a royalty as well. The good thing is you don't have to have your own product, right? That's the benefit. You don't have to go ahead and develop something yourself. So affiliate marketing can definitely be very lucrative. The thing is, you do not need a YouTube channel for this. You might be assuming that this only works through YouTube, but you could make educational content on Instagram or on Twitter, or maybe on a blog page as well. So you essentially write about how to use a certain tool. Let's say it's Flying Upload. Let's say you've been using Flying Upload in your workflow, then you already know how to use it. You probably know some hidden features, some tips and tricks. So just create a bit of content, maybe create some images that showcase different areas, how to set it up, and write a bit of content, share that on social media. And if you do that consistently and link back to the tools, then you could start generating a new income stream. Building an audience is obviously the challenge here. So the bigger the audience, the easier it is to get affiliate income, but over time that is definitely possible. So how easy is it to start? Now, in my opinion, I would give it 3.5 out of 5 stars here. It's not as easy to start as print on demand, but it might be easier to start than you think, because you already know how to use certain tools and you can teach it to other people and sort of pass on the knowledge, and then just link back to the tool with your own link. So the challenge is, I think, building the audience. That is why it's not as easy to start, but it's definitely something worth trying that doesn't really take any upfront investment. How easy is it to make $100? Now, in this case, the results can definitely vary, because if you've already got an audience, that would be a lot easier. If you don't, then it might take a while, but I would give it 3.5 out of 5 stars right here, because $100 is definitely achievable. Most of the time you receive like 20 to 30% cuts for the affiliate sales, and if you're making $5 or $10 per sale, then $100 is achievable. So it's not the easiest, but it is doable. In terms of maintenance, I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. Once you've built up some affiliate income, the good thing is usually it is reoccurring. So if someone pays for a tool, if they've paid through your link and they pay for it on a monthly basis, then you will get a cut every single month, which makes it somewhat passive and fairly easy to maintain. Obviously, it does help to keep creating content, but nevertheless, 4 stars out of 5 definitely applies here in my opinion. Method number 5 would be creating a tool or a plugin or a Chrome extension to help people out with their workflow. And this is an area I'm not too experienced in, so I can't really tell you a lot about it. However, you have to kind of think about the different processes associated with print on demand and how could they be easier. So how could the design process be easier for me? How could research be easier for me? What sort of tool would I like to see to essentially optimize my workflow? A few examples would be Automate POD. That is a tool that I've used in the past to automate my design process, to create scalable designs more quickly. That was or is a Chrome extension that someone developed. Then there is different, for example, research tools. There is different design tools that people pay for. There is a lot of AI tools out there in the market now, which help you with upscaling images or vectorizing images, and people are paying for them, right? So many different opportunities. Especially with AI, I think there is a lot of gaps that can still be filled. And if you have some coding knowledge, some development skills, or you know how to outsource that side of things, then there is definitely a chance here to make money or add an extra income stream. I would say this one is not very easy to start. I would give it 2 out of 5 stars because you do need quite a bit of upfront work of developing a tool and then packaging it up well, marketing it. So it's not the easiest to start in my opinion, but I'm also not a developer, so that might play into my judgment here. Next up, for the how easy it is to make $100 category, I would give this 3 out of 5 stars because you are going to need some sort of marketing to get the product out there. Even if you've got a good tool, you need to make people find out about it and learn about it and understand it. So there's going to be some effort to get to that first $100 for sure, and it's not going to necessarily be the easiest thing. In terms of maintenance, I would give this 2 out of 5 stars. I understand that some tools probably won't need a lot of updates and maintenance necessarily, but I think for the most part, you will have to spend a lot of time and money on fixing bugs, on doing customer service. So especially if it's working well, there will be a lot of maintenance work to be done, and you cannot just leave this running on the side as like a passive income stream. Number 6 is one option that you might have never considered, but it is definitely another way to monetize your skill set, and that is selling services to other print-on-demand sellers. Now, this could be many different things. You could sell listing optimization, you could sell niche research services if you wanted to, or design services. This is probably the more popular one, where someone will outsource their designs to you. And if you're a print-on-demand seller, you will have an advantage because you know what people are looking for. This is something I've started doing recently because I'm having less time to actually create designs myself. So I've started outsourcing them to another person who does print-on-demand too. You could also sell services for marketing, for example. If that is a skill set that you have, if you're good at social media marketing, for example, then you could offer that as a service to print-on-demand sellers. And you could sell these services on platforms like Upwork or Fiverr, just to give you an example. And I think this is fairly easy to start. If you have a bit of skills, you can easily create a listing and get yourself onto these platforms. So I would give it 3.5 out of 5 stars in the easy to start category. In terms of how easy it is to make your first $100, I think it's definitely a lot easier than some of the other categories I've spoken about because you don't need a lot of clients. If you're charging, I don't know, $10, $20 per hour for your work, you don't need a lot of clients to actually make that $100. So this is definitely a quicker way to money. It is not as passive, but it is easier than print on demand to make some money online. So in this category, selling services gets 4 out of 5 stars. In terms of maintenance though, this is where the passive factor is not really present. So you do have to do constant work if you want to maintain an income. You can, I guess, sort of create templates and workflows to automate things. So that can definitely help. But overall, I would give this 2.5 out of 5 stars for the maintenance aspect. And lastly, option number 7 is actually a bit random, but still interesting. I did want to mention it to you because you can help out YouTubers. By help out, I mean you could, for example, create their thumbnails or edit their videos or maybe edit shorts as well. Because I'm guessing if you've been doing print on demand for a while, then you have got some technical ability, and something like editing shorts can be very quickly learned. It's not that difficult, but many YouTubers want to outsource these sorts of things. If you've got a bit of skill set that you could leverage in this way, reach out to YouTubers, learn how to craft a good email that people will actually respond to. That is, you know, an important side of this. If you email enough people, then I'm pretty sure you could land some jobs right here. YouTubers are very keen to outsource their work to be able to focus on, you know, scripting and shooting videos more easily. And especially if you contact print on demand YouTubers and you do have print on demand experience, that is going to give you an advantage, because it's just going to be way easier to communicate and sort of get the desired results if the person knows a lot about the industry already that you're working with. So for this category of how easy it is to start, I would have given this, or I will give this 4 out of 5 stars, because if you've got the skill set, if you learn how to craft some good emails, you don't really have to do anything much other than cold email people. You don't have to invest in any tools or put in much risk. It is fairly hands-off, fairly easy to start. So 4 out of 5 stars in my opinion for that category. How easy is it to make $100? If you land a job, fairly easy in my opinion. It's not going to take you like years and years and years to rack up some money here, because YouTubers are very keen to outsource and pay someone money if they get a lot of extra time that way. So in this category, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. For maintenance though, I would give this 2 out of 5 stars, because you have to do ongoing work. You're not going to be able to just stop doing these services and then your income stays there. So maintenance is definitely not the best one. This is not a passive income stream. So I think 2 out of 5 stars is suitable here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you get some new ideas for increasing your income as a print on demand seller. And speaking of increasing, if you want to learn 5 different ways to increase your sales as a print on demand seller, make sure to check out this video next, which is my free mini course going over many different tips and strategies.